The wake-up call. Why comfort is your enemy. Most people live their entire lives trying to avoid discomfort. They create routines that feel safe. They build walls that protect them from the unknown. But what they don't realize is that this very comfort is what keeps them stuck. It's what makes people settle for average, for mediocrity, for a life that is far beneath their true potential. The moment you get too comfortable is the moment you stop growing. The harsh truth is, comfort zones are silent killers. They don't scream, they don't hurt, but they slowly numb your ambition, one lazy habit at a time. You sleep a little longer, you procrastinate on your goals, you put off your dreams until tomorrow, and then tomorrow becomes next week, next year, eventually, never. And before you know it, life has passed you by. That's why the first step to forcing yourself to be better every second of your life is waking up. Waking up to the reality that if you want to live an extraordinary life, you need to start doing extraordinary things, starting with getting uncomfortable. You must make discomfort your ally. You must lean into the things that challenge you, the things that scare you, the things that stretch you. Whether it's waking up at 5 a.m. when you feel like sleeping in, hitting the gym when your body screams for rest, or opening a book when your mind craves distraction, those are the moments when greatness is forged. Every second that you choose growth over comfort, you're building mental muscle. You're reinforcing discipline. You're stepping closer to your best self. Think about it. Every person who's ever done something great had to go through discomfort. Athletes train when no one is watching. Entrepreneurs grind in silence while the world doubts them. Artists create through failure after failure. None of them relied on feeling motivated. They relied on showing up, regardless of how they felt. That's the key. You don't wait for motivation. You force yourself forward with discipline. And here's the powerful part. Once you develop the habit of choosing discomfort, you start to feel alive again. You begin to trust yourself. Your mind shifts from excuses to solutions. You no longer ask, "Can I do this?" You start declaring, "I will do this." Because you've trained your spirit to move, to act, to push beyond resistance. This is your wake-up call. If you're tired of being stuck in the same loop, then today is the day to say no more. No more settling, no more excuses, no more wasting time. Comfort is no longer your friend, it's your enemy. And your only mission now is to get better every single second. The power of small daily wins. Improvement isn't built in a day, it's built in seconds, in minutes, in the tiny choices you make moment by moment. You don't wake up one day as the best version of yourself. You craft that version through every decision you make when no one is watching. It starts with the small wins, the ones so small they seem insignificant. But trust this, small wins done consistently lead to massive victories. You don't have to climb the entire mountain in a single leap. You just have to take one step, then another, then another. That's how you build greatness, one deliberate move at a time. Every second that passes is a chance to move forward or to stay still. And every time you choose progress, no matter how tiny, you're programming your mind for success. Let's say you hit snooze this morning, just 5 more minutes. That one decision delayed your momentum. Now your workout is rushed, your day feels off, and your mind is already making excuses. But what if instead you had forced yourself to get up? That 1 second where you chose action over comfort, that's a win. That's a rep for your discipline. And over time, those reps add up. The problem is, most people underestimate the value of tiny wins. They want to change their life, but they ignore the power of a single hour. They want transformation, but they're unwilling to transform the way they show up in ordinary moments. But here's the truth. Extraordinary people do ordinary things with relentless consistency. If you want to become better every second, then you need to stop seeking motivation and start building systems. Create a structure for your life where your success is non-negotiable. Plan your day before the day begins. Cut out distractions. Set goals so clear that your mind has no room for confusion. And then execute. Not when it feels right, not when you feel inspired, but every single day. Select. Braided the small wins. Finishing a workout. Saying no to junk food. Turning off Netflix to read for 15 minutes. Waking up on time. Showing up when it's hard. These are not minor victories. These are the bricks that build your empire. And don't just keep score in the big moments. Keep score in the second-by-second battles. Did you stay focused for one more task before checking your phone? That's a win. Did you push through discomfort during your workout instead of quitting early? That's a win. Count it. Honor it. Build on it. You want to change your life? Then fall in love with the process. Fall in love with small, consistent progress. Because that's how you create a version of yourself that doesn't just wish to be better, but proves it every second of every day. Discipline is the bridge to the life you want. Let's be real. Discipline isn't glamorous. It's not exciting. It's not fun. Discipline is waking up when your bed is warm. It's doing the hard thing when every bone in your body wants comfort. It's choosing effort over ease, focus over distraction, and responsibility over excuses. But here's the truth. Discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you're capable of becoming. If you want greatness, it's not coming by accident. If you want success, it won't walk into your life just because you wish for it. You've got to build it. You've got to grind for it. You've got to sacrifice for it. And that journey is paved by one thing: discipline. Not motivation, not inspiration, just pure, raw self-control. Motivation fades. It comes and goes like the weather. One day you feel unstoppable, and the next day you don't even want to get out of bed. That's life. That's being human. But discipline shows up no matter how you feel. Discipline says, I don't care if you're tired, you've got work to do. Discipline keeps you on track when your emotions want to derail you. And here's the best part. Discipline is a skill. You don't have to be born with it. You can train it. You can build it like a muscle. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you get stronger. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you become more powerful. You're not just building habits, you're building a mindset, a lifestyle, a standard. You must start forcing yourself to live by principle, not preference. Preferences are easy. Preferences are emotional. But principles are stable. They're clear. They keep you grounded when life throws chaos at you. When you live by principles, like showing up every day, honoring your word, and giving 100%, you take control of your life. Discipline is also about saying no to the things that drain you. No to the people who distract you. No to the behaviors that pull you away from your mission. Every no you say to weakness is a yes to power. Every second you spend in discipline is a second invested in your future self. Look around. Most people avoid discipline. They live reactive lives. They chase dopamine. They wait for the right time. But the right time is now. This second. Because every second you delay, you're either maintaining your mediocrity or you're digging a deeper hole to climb out of. So don't just hope for a better life. Discipline your way into one. Get serious about your routine. Get ruthless with your time. Make your bed, finish your reps, stay off your phone, and push past your comfort zone. Every action matters. You want to be great? Then stop letting feelings control your behavior. Start letting discipline drive your destiny. Kill your excuses or they will kill your dreams. Let's call it out. Excuses are the silent killers of success. They sound logical. They feel justified. But in truth, they're lies we tell ourselves to avoid growth. They're comfort wrapped in clever words. I don't have time. I'm too tired. I'm not ready. I'll start tomorrow. You think you're keeping yourself safe, but really you're keeping yourself stuck. Every time you make an excuse, you push your goals further into the future. You delay your evolution. You let fear win, and fear disguised as logic, that's the deadliest trap of all. You want to be better? Start holding yourself accountable like your life depends on it, because it does. Every second wasted on an excuse is a second stolen from your future. Think about that. Excuses don't just waste your time, they rob you of your becoming. They poison your potential. You were not born to live beneath your capabilities. But if you keep making excuses, you'll keep living below your worth. You've got to get brutal with your mindset. Stop defending your weaknesses. Stop looking for reasons why you can't, and start finding reasons why you must. It's not about what's fair. It's not about what's easy. It's about what's necessary. Growth isn't optional. Progress isn't accidental. It's intentional. And it starts by killing your excuses. What's your biggest excuse right now? Be honest. Is it time? Everyone has 24 hours? Is it fear of failure? That's part of the process. Is it lack of motivation? Motivation isn't required. Discipline is. Or maybe it's that you're waiting for the perfect moment. Listen closely. The perfect moment doesn't exist. The only moment you have is now. The only power you have is what you do with this second. If you really want to change, then stop explaining your limitations and start exposing them. Face them, crush them, force yourself to rise above them. And the more excuses you destroy, the more unstoppable you become. And the people who get ahead in life, they're not more talented, they're not luckier, they just refuse to let excuses win. Let this hit deep. Your excuses will always be louder than your dreams, unless you learn to shut them down. You do that by taking action when it's hard, by showing up when it's inconvenient, by pushing forward even when your mind is screaming for an escape. And the best way to silence your excuses? Take full responsibility for your life. Not 50%, not 99%, 100%. Own your results, own your mistakes, own your success. When you take radical responsibility, excuses don't stand a chance. So next time that excuse creeps in, crush it with action. Replace I can't with I will. Replace someday with today. Replace comfort with commitment. Because your destiny doesn't care about your excuses, it only responds to your efforts. Be so disciplined that it looks like obsession. Let's talk about the word that scares most people. Discipline. Not the glamorous kind, not the temporary kind, but the type that becomes your identity. The kind of discipline where your actions are so consistent, so precise, that from the outside, it looks like obsession. And guess what? That's exactly what it should be. People will call you crazy. They'll say, "Why are you working so hard? Why don't you relax? Why are you always so intense?" You know what you tell them? Because my vision doesn't take breaks. My goals don't sleep. My dreams don't go on vacation. And if I don't move with obsession, I'll never reach the heights that demand it. See, greatness doesn't come from casual commitment. It comes from being relentless, from being laser focused, from making the decision every single second to honor your mission, even when no one's watching, even when it's inconvenient, even when it's boring, especially then. Discipline means you don't negotiate with laziness. You don't debate with doubt. You don't delay your destiny because you're not in the mood. You act whether you feel like it or not. You execute when it's raining, when it's late, when it hurts. Because obsession doesn't ask how you feel. Obsession asks what needs to be done. The world tells you to be balanced. But let's be real. Balance doesn't build empires. Balance doesn't create world class. Balance doesn't forge greatness. Discipline does. Ruthless, consistent, daily discipline. That's what takes you from average to elite. That's what turns ordinary into unstoppable. And yes, it'll get lonely. Because most people choose comfort over commitment. They chase distractions instead of discipline. But not you. You didn't come here to blend in. You came here to break the mold, to rewrite your story. And for that, you must be willing to do what most won't, so you can live how most never will. So stop explaining your work ethic. Let your results do the talking. While they're scrolling, you're building. While they're doubting, you're rising. While they're sleeping, you're grinding. That's what obsession looks like. That's what ownership feels like. That's how discipline becomes your superpower. Every time you show up when it's hard, you build mental armor. Every time you push through the urge to quit, you sharpen your edge. And every second you stay locked in, you're pulling further and further away from those still stuck in comfort. That's how you separate yourself. That's how you dominate. Be so disciplined that people don't understand you. Be so focused that mediocrity feels allergic to your presence. Be so consistent that success becomes inevitable. Because when you force yourself to get better every second, discipline isn't just something you do, it becomes who you are. Success is a war, and you are the warrior. Understand this, success is not gentle, it doesn't arrive wrapped in a ribbon. It's not something handed out to the lucky or the talented. Success is war. It's a constant, never-ending battle between who you are and who you're becoming. And in this war, you can't afford to be passive. You can't afford to be weak. You must show up as a warrior, every day, every moment, every second. Think about a warrior. They don't hesitate. They don't flinch. They don't walk into the battlefield hoping things will go their way. They train for the worst and fight to win. That's the mindset you need to adopt. This isn't a game. This is your life, your future, your legacy. And like any warrior, your strength doesn't come from comfort. It's forged in pain, in pressure, in perseverance. It's built when you rise after being knocked down, when you keep moving, even when everything in you screams to quit. That's where real power lives, not in the easy moments, but in the difficult ones where you choose to fight anyway. You don't become better by chance, you become better by choice. And every day you have 1,000 chances to make that choice. To wake up earlier, to train harder, to focus deeper, to study more, to rise when others sleep, to fight for what you want with relentless intensity. That's how warriors win, not with luck, but with grit. But don't get it twisted. Being a warrior doesn't mean being perfect. It means being resilient. It means being so committed to your vision that failure doesn't defeat you. It fuels you. It means you're not afraid to bleed, to sweat, to suffer, because you know the reward is worth the war. You see, most people want success, but they're not willing to go to war for it. They want the glory without the grind, the results without the sacrifice. But not you. If you've made it this far, it means you're different. You don't just want success, you're ready to earn it, with fire in your soul and a sword in your hand. So suit up, get your mindset right, lock into your mission and prepare to outwork, outlast, and outperform everyone around you. Because this world doesn't give you what you want, it gives you what you fight for. And you're a fighter, you're a warrior. You were built for this. In the war of success, the weak make excuses, the strong make progress. So ask yourself, who will you be? The victim of your circumstances or the warrior of your destiny? Force yourself to be better every second, every battle, every breath, because the war is on and your victory is waiting. The discipline to choose greatness over comfort. Let's be honest. Comfort is seductive. It whispers in your ear, telling you to take it easy, to slow down, to relax. It tells you that you've done enough, that you deserve a break, and maybe you do. But here's the truth. Comfort is the enemy of growth. And the more you listen to it, the more you stay the same. The more you stay the same, the further you drift from greatness. If you want to be great, really great, you have to make a decision. Will you choose comfort or will you choose discipline? Because you can't have both. You can't hit snooze every morning and expect to build a legacy. You can't waste hours scrolling through distractions and expect to reach your potential. You can't keep playing small and expect a big life. Discipline is what separates dreamers from doers. It's what makes the difference between wishing for a better life and working for it. Discipline means doing what needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. It means saying no to what's easy and yes to what's necessary. It means waking up when your body wants to sleep, studying when your mind wants to wander, pushing forward when your spirit wants to quit. And here's the raw truth. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to force you to rise. No one is going to hand you the blueprint or drag you across the finish line. If you want it, you have to get up and go get it. You have to force yourself to do the hard things, to show up for your life like it matters, because it does. But the beauty is this. Once you master the discipline to say no to comfort, to say yes to challenge, you become unstoppable. You gain momentum, you build confidence, you develop strength not just in your body, but in your character. And that's where real greatness is born, not in talent or luck, but in the discipline to choose your future over your feelings. Understand tes paroles. Every second you waste in comfort is a second stolen from your greatness. Every excuse you make becomes a brick in the wall between you and your destiny. You can't afford that. Not now, not ever. So choose discipline. Choose discomfort. Choose the path that forces you to level up. Because every time you say no to laziness and yes to your higher self, you are becoming the person you were born to be. This is how legends are made, not in comfort, but in consistency. So force yourself to rise, to grind, to stretch, to break limits, and do it over and over again until it becomes your identity. Because you don't just want success, you are becoming success. And it all starts with one choice: discipline over comfort, every single time. You either evolve or you stay stuck. Life doesn't wait for you to feel ready. Growth doesn't ask for your permission. And success doesn't care if you're tired. You're either evolving or you are stuck. There is no middle ground. There is no neutral. The moment you stop pushing forward, you start sliding backward. And if you don't take control of your progress, the world will pass you by. Staying the same feels safe. It feels comfortable. But it's an illusion. Because while you're staying the same, life is moving on. Opportunities are being taken by those who force themselves to keep evolving. The world rewards those who grow. It recognizes those who adapt, those who push past fear, those who show up again and again, even when no one's watching. If you're stuck, don't lie to yourself and say it's because you're waiting for the right time. The truth is, you're avoiding the pressure of change. But that pressure, it's a gift. Pressure molds champions. It reveals what you're made of. It burns away your weakness and forces your strength to emerge. That uncomfortable space between who you are and who you want to be, that's where transformation lives. You have to make a decision. Do I want to evolve? Or do I want to stay stuck in the cycle I keep complaining about? You can't keep making excuses and expect results. You can't keep running from growth and expect greatness. You can't keep choosing comfort and expect change. Look around you. The people who are winning in life didn't get there by accident. They forced themselves to rise. They made tough decisions. They sacrificed short-term ease for long-term power. They faced failure, rejection, pain, and they kept going. Because they knew something most people forget. If you don't evolve, you slowly become irrelevant. To yourself, to your goals, to your purpose. You've got too much inside you to stay stuck. Too much potential. Too much.
Any dreams. Too much talent. But all of that means nothing if you're not willing to evolve. Evolution isn't just a concept, it's a decision. It's choosing to be better every day. It's choosing to face your weaknesses instead of hiding from them. It's choosing to walk through fear instead of tiptoeing around it. The version of you that you admire, the one who's strong, focused, powerful, and respected, that version is already inside of you. But you'll never meet them if you keep playing small, if you keep repeating the same cycles, if you keep choosing stagnation over transformation. So break free, step into the fire of growth. Let it shape you, let it test you, let it elevate you. Because the longer you wait to evolve, the further you drift from the life you were meant to live. Force yourself to evolve. Force yourself to become. Because the alternative, it's staying stuck, and that's no longer an option.
Every second is a choice. Rise or repeat. Every second of your life holds power. A power most people waste. A power many ignore, but not you. Not anymore. Because now you understand. Life isn't something that happens to you. It's something you shape. You don't sit back and hope for better. You don't wait for the right moment, the right motivation, or the right mood. You force yourself to rise, to act, to grow, to conquer, no matter what. Every second you hesitate is a second you could have used to improve. Every moment you complain is a moment you could have chosen to climb. And every time you say maybe later, the world keeps moving and your dream drifts further out of reach. You don't need to be the most talented. You don't need to be born into privilege. You don't need anyone's permission. You just need one thing, the courage to demand more from yourself. To say, I will not accept this version of me any longer. I will evolve. I will break through. I will become unstoppable. That's the real secret. It's not magic. It's not luck. It's daily force. It's the unseen hours, the quiet sacrifices, the times you showed up when no one clapped, the pain you used as fuel, the loneliness you turned into laser focus. It's forcing yourself to speak when you'd rather stay silent, to move when you'd rather rest, to believe when doubt screams in your head. That's how greatness is born, not in ease but in discipline, not in comfort but in the fire. So take this moment and make it sacred. Take this second and make it count. Not tomorrow, not next month, now. Because the future isn't promised and your time is the most valuable thing you own. Force yourself to rise before the sun. Force yourself to get back up when life knocks you down. Force yourself to dream bigger, work harder, and keep going long after the world expects you to quit. That's how legacies are built. That's how lives are changed. That's how you become the person you were born to be. This isn't a one-time motivation. This is a lifestyle, a mindset, a relentless standard you set for yourself. And the best part? It's all within your control. Your success, your evolution, your greatness. You don't need a perfect plan. You just need to start right now. So what will you do with your next second, your next hour, your next day? Will you repeat the same excuses or rise? Will you settle for average or ascend to your potential? Will you sit still or stand tall and move forward like your life depends on it? Because it does. You were not born to be ordinary. You were born to be a force. So stop waiting. Stop doubting. Stop hesitating. Start forcing. Start climbing. Start becoming. This is your moment. This is your life. Force yourself to be better every single second.